Anxiety is an epidemic, and it breaks my heart to see how rampant it is. And so I'm hoping that I can share some insight, because most people have tried so many things to treat their anxiety and have not had the results that they really deserve, that they've been looking for. And my hope is that if you understand a little bit about what's happening in your nervous system and recognize that it's not something failing, it's not you being broken, it's not anything like that, that you can actually recognize that you can do something about it and be empowered to choose to do that. So what most people experience anxiety, and just to be clear, there's a lot of kinds of anxiety out there, but most anxiety, I believe, has to do with this that I'm sharing today. So unfortunately for a lot of us, as you move through life in your developmental years, you learn that it's unsafe to express your true heart into the world, your true feelings, your true self, or the emotions at their full capacity. And there can be a million reasons why you can learn that it's unsafe to do that. It could be that your family environment looks down upon certain emotions being expressed. Maybe they were taught that as well, and so you learned that you couldn't just let out what you're feeling. Maybe the environment that you're in, it's unsafe to do that because others will pick it apart and judge you. Maybe it's unsafe because you don't want to hurt people. Maybe it's unsafe because somebody told you that you were too much. Or maybe you told yourself that you were too much. Maybe you were out really letting your soul shine and you realized people were watching and laughing. And really they were probably going, man, I remember that. I wish I could experience that. Wow, what happened, right? And having a laugh about it. But as a child, you look and you see people laughing and looking at you, and well, there's only one answer, right? And so there's a lot of insecurity in our youth. So what we learn is we learn to do this. We learn to hold it in, because you have to understand emotion is energy in motion. It's meant to move us. It's meant to move us into life, into the fullness of expression. That's why the more emotion we have, the more you see it in the body. And when we learn that that emotion itself is unsafe to express, what do? We hold it in. And it's like a kettle that you've put a lid on, and there's no way for the steam to escape. And then it keeps on building because it's still on the burner. And so what do? You put more pressure, and we all know what the end result of that is. Things get messy. And ultimately, when we start to experience anxiety, that is what you want to not happen the most, right? It's, oh no, like everyone's gonna not just see my emotion, but they're gonna see my anxiety. They're gonna see how insecure I feel. They're gonna see how much of a mess I am. And then we start to judge it. It just creates this cycle, right? So the key is to recognize, first, you're not broken. And second, you trained your nervous system. This is a result of you taught your nervous system to do this. And even though it's not your fault, it is your responsibility. And I think that's a wonderful thing to recognize, because when it's your responsibility, you are response-able. You are able to respond and help your system learn a better way. And your nervous system is always looking for a better way to help you express life. You just have to show it that it's safe enough to do so. So one of the ways that we do that is we help people recognize where on their body they're holding that chronic tension. And so when a lot of people experience anxiety, it tends to be right here in the diaphragm, solar plexus area. And so if you think about that, when the tension, if you really exaggerate what that tension does, it does this. If it pulls in, and see how it alters the posture, the spine, the shoulders, the neck. And so maybe you've seen, maybe yourself in the mirror, and I do that. That's my posture. Or maybe you've seen it in your children. This doesn't happen without tension, because posture is easy for your body. It's how you are designed to carry gravity elegantly and efficiently. And when we have tension in the front of our spine, which is all the unprocessed emotions, that's what ends up happening. So we end up altering our posture and our biomechanics. So So when we work with people, we help them connect, and all we're doing is helping them use focus, attention, and awareness so that their brain recognizes that it's holding a chronic tension that is inconsistent with the moment. In other words, this is from something that happened before now. Why is it still happening? And in that moment, when your spine, your nervous system recognizes it's safe, it lets it go, and it starts to function and behave normally. Now, these are the things that happen as a result of that. One, your brain interprets that tension as a constant threat. So your brain is basically going, what am I anxious about? What am I anxious about? What am I anxious about? And it's looking for reasons to get anxious, okay? It already sees it as happening. And your heart is experiencing that anxiety too on a low threshold area. So once that starts to release, your brain's no longer getting that input. It also trains your nervous system that it's safe to let go of that tension. It will be okay. And then from that point, you can start to experience your emotions from a place of allowing. And now this is where it gets a little complicated. At that point, what's most important is to recognize that, hey, it's okay if it's a little messy. Because here's the thing, that tension is a break. That's why it's there. It numbs your nervous system. It's a break. So now the brakes are off. So you just have to accept that, hey, you know what? The only way through this is to just let go and allow the messiness to be there. And what you'll notice is very quickly, you'll be okay. And it's kind of like this. If you've ever seen that video of the cows, the milking cows, it's so sad, where they've spent a lifetime indoors, locked into those cages, being milked, and then they're let out into the green pastures. They bounce. They're bouncing off the ground because their excitement is just so uncontained because they've been kept from that field. And they couldn't be more ecstatic. And it is beautiful. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's just beautiful. And that's what's happening in that moment for you. And so think about those cows. Watch the video, think about those cows, and re-experience your nervous system from that place. So it's something that we do in our office. That technique is called somato-respiratory integration. There is a book out there called The 12 Stages of Healing. You can also search 12 Stages in 12 Days, and Donnie Epstein, the creator of that material, will drop a video in your inbox every day. You can go over it. You can self-guide yourself through that. And all I'm talking about right now is stage 1, okay? Stage 1, stage 2, and you will feel everything start to change with your anxiety. If you keep it up, you will get there. But the nervous system learns over time, so you gotta stick with it. You can experience life without anxiety, and you deserve to experience life with anxiety. And if you would like some help working through that, it would be an honor to work with you.